ಏನು
ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಇದೆ ಬ್ರೋ. ನಾವು ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ ಫಾರ್ ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ಗುಡ್, ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪಕ್ಕ ಇದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪಕ್ಕ ಇದೆ, ಓ ಇದು ಹಿಂಗೇನಿದೆ, ಹಿಂಗೆ ಫುಲ್ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆನ್ಸಲ್ಲೂ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ, ಓಕೆನಾ. ಬಟ್ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ರಾಂಗ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಲೈಕ್ ಅದು ನಾವು ಸ್ಟುಪಿಡ್ ಅಥವಾ ನಾವು ಲೇಸಿ ಟು ರೀಚೆಕ್ ಅಗೇನಾ, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಎ ಡೈಲಿ ಲೈಫ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ನಾವು ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ ಮನೇಲಿ ಸಾಮಾನು ತಗೊಳಕ್ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಮಾಮ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ, ಓಕೆನಾ, ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಎ ರಿವಾರ್ಡ್, ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಬಯಸ್ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ಮೆಸ್ ಅಪ್, ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಮರ್ತೋಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಗೇನ್ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಬುಕ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಇದರಲ್ಲೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಗೆಸ್ಟ್ ರೂಮ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಟ್ಟ ಬುಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪಕ್ಕದೆ ಐ ಬಿ ಫ್ರೀ ಫಾರ್ ಟುಡೇ. ದೆನ್ ಓಲ್ ನಂದೇ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕಿಂದ ಮೆಸ್ಅಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಒಂದು ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ನಾವು ರೀಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್. ಈ ಥರ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಡೇ ಲೈಫಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಬೇರೆ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಆಯ್ತಾ. ಬಟ್ ಇದು ಒಂದು ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ರೀಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್. ಬಟ್ ನಾವೇನಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ? ಆರ್ ವಿ ಟೂ ಓವರ್ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆರ್ ವಿ ಡಮ್? ಅದೇ ಇದ್ರ ಹಿಂದೆ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಹಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಲೈಕ್ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಒಂದು ನಮ್ಮ ಜೀನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ, ಟೂ ಲೇಜಿನಾ? ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಲಾಜಿಕಲ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಇದೆಯಾ ಅಂತ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಫೈಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ ಇಟ್.
See, when you perform certain action or you want to perform certain action, let's say, you'll have an expectation associated with the consequence.
Okay.
You do certain things, but you expect the reality to be in a certain way as well. In the way you imagine the consequence to be a certain way. But see, when you are expecting something, your projection of the reality is revolving around you. Okay, but when it's happening in the consequence in the reality, there are so many other factors. There, your perspective is not the center of the world, right? In your expectation, okay, it should be an ideal world. Why people get angry? Why people don't have patience? Why people keep calling continuously back to back? Many things. So our expectation will be, okay, we expect at least, to put it bluntly, we expect people to be civilized. But many times they feel that they're losing it. They're losing the civilization. So it's not anybody's fault as such, because our expectation is unidimensional. It once happened, I don't know in which, in 97 or something. They have taken a group of United States people to Singapore for a trip. So what happens is, on the way, while they're going to the airport, they realize that all their agent who was taking care of them in Singapore, he has by mistakenly kept all the passports in the hotel itself, and they had to drive back to the hotel and get the passports. So what happened, by the time in the flight, they wanted window seat, in the front seat, they wanted like that. But all the seats were filled and they were sitting at the last because they were late. They were very angry on this travel agent, like, how can you do this to us and all. But in the midway, the plane crashed, and the last section of the plane, it was cut off from the rest, and all of them survived. Many people who were sitting in the front, they all died. So was it because of this happened? Any number of factors, right? You cannot say. And some guy in, I think, 1987, while the smoking was still allowed in the flight, he was sitting and smoking in the front, but some people were disturbed. So he sat in the back and he was smoking, and the flight crashed, and the tail, usually the tail part will separate in most of the collision, and he survived. So he says, I was saved from the accident because I smoked. Is that the reason? So there are n number of things. But when expecting, okay, people should behave in a certain way, that is only your opinion, right? Do you know that whole person in its entirety? Any number of factors are involved. Crude prices may go up, government may implement a new law, or government may change. Everything will be a factor, right? But when you're expecting about it, you won't consider every factor possible. In simple way, you want the reality as you want it to be. You want it to be rain when you want it to rain. You want the rain to be stopped when you want it to be stopped. You want when you go out, there should not be any traffic. Others let them. You are not concerned about the world. As Sadhguru says, if everything happens as you want, where should I go? Where should others go? And whatever you expect, it is never often the reality. It will either be better than what you expected or worst. How many times does exactly that happen the way you expected it to happen? Very less. It happens. but very less. Most of the times it will be better. You may feel, oh my God, this is it, I'm caught. Still something happens and you escape, right? Not every drink and drive guy will either meet with an accident or police will catch him, right? Not every murderer the police will catch. There are any number of factors associated with it. But you will be thinking, see, only if, let's say, a criminal has committed a crime, he will be thinking in his perspective, I have cleaned up all the evidence. But he don't know, right, what the police, how their perspective they are thinking. He'll be, according to him, he'll be an example. In the early 1980s, many thieves, they did not know about this DNA technology. So they were concerned only about the fingerprints, because fingerprints came in like 1900s. Suddenly many cases were reopened because of this DNA evidence. Then they became concerned about that aspect as well. But people who are ignorant of the DNA evidence, many times, they will surveillance. And even at the last moment, they did not know. Police were at their doorstep. They did not know at all. They were in their world, enjoying the robbery money, the banks they looted. They had no clue police were chasing them, no clue. So that's what happens. And ultimately, see, I want to expect the world to be like this, but it's not happening the way I want. That is the problem. See, there are many, ultimately you have control over only three things. Okay? What you think, what you speak, and what you do. Only three things you have control over. You cannot control when it rains, you cannot control whether the planet is spinning on time, or the sun to rise. You have only control over anybody and everybody. Sadhguru, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, you take anybody, Modi, anybody. You only have control over three things. Do you think they have control over the whole nation? No. Yeah, when they say certain things, it may apply. But still, there is no country as such, right? A country is a group of people, a group of individual peoples. Do you think for every Christian the concept of Jesus, the concept of God is the same? Fundamentally they may be similar. But to each person is a different trait, how he approaches God. I read something very interesting about it. It made a lot of sense to me. It's like, see, when you taunt someone's God, it's not the God that you're taunting, it is them you're taunting. It is them. God is made in your image, or vice versa. God made you in His image. It's a powerful, not exactly a powerful idea as such. If the cats and dogs, do you think if they have a God, if the dogs have a God, do you think they imagine God in a human form? No. Definitely a big dog, right? In many ways, many of our ideas about God are our assumptions. We want God to be in a certain way also. We expect God to be in a certain way. When we pray, He better answer, right? That's why you're praying. Do you know what are the odds? Okay, 50-50. No, when you're praying, you're 100%. When you're buying a lottery ticket, do you calculate all the odds? Or do you want to win? Or do you know you want to win? You want to win the lottery ticket. That's the answer. That's the primary intention. But if you look at the odds, lottery business should not work. Gambling should not work. For every dollar you bet, it is estimated you lose 0.87 cents. If you win, you will win upon your dollar, you will win some 7 or 8 cents. Still, the gambling industry is thriving. We are humans. That's all are like human tendencies. A farmer, he knows when exactly rain should come. Have you heard the story? A farmer will go and complain to God. Mm-hmm. Okay. So there will be this farmer, he knows like rain is not coming on time. All his, all his plants are going failed. The crops are not able, he is not able to grow the crops. So one day he meets God and asks her, what are you doing, man? You don't know when it is to make it to rain, when the sunshine should be there. You don't know how to run the world. I know how the nature should work. You give control to me, I will take care of the nature. God says, okay, take. Granted. So the farmer started, okay, give me sunshine. Okay, sunshine was there. Let it rain. It rained. Stop. It stopped immediately. So however he wanted, he controlled the climate. After 6 months, plants were all growing well. And after 6 months when he was harvesting, he opened the corn. All were like very little corns. Corns were not very big in size. He was furious. I did everything. I provided ample sunlight. I gave rain, sufficient water, everything I did. Still why the crops did not come? So So he goes back to God and asks God, this is something of your gimmick. So he says, okay, you gave enough rain, you gave enough sunlight, but you forgot about the wind. If there was wind, the roots would be strengthened. The plants will go, the roots will penetrate much deeper onto the earth. Thus, whatever fruits come out of it will be more stronger. If there is no wind at all, the roots will be there, okay, we are fine. Only the roots will be only in the surface level. So, there wasn't much gone. So, there are any number of things which we cannot see whenever we analyze a situation. We cannot look at every angle of it. We can see in a certain perspective. Usually from our perspective we see why it happened, the way it happened. We do not see it from all the angles, from others' perspective, from their nature's perspective, from the existence perspective. If there is God, from God's perspective. When other situation you can easily give advice, hey, do this man, it will be fine. But when it comes to you, all the advice of the world won't work. That's what I had written a quote actually saying, instead of giving away all the advice, people would have kept some for themselves. That would have been good. People are giving it all away, right? Advices. So there are any number of factors. You will be thinking like this. I did this should happen. That's why Krishna said, don't worry about the consequence. You have with your action, do 100%. Leave the consequence to me. Leave the consequence to the existence. So what does this mean? Does it mean I will do whatever I want and let the consequence be however I want? I don't care. I'll put it to Krishna. No. It's a funny thing that a person was continuously coming to church and was asking God that, I should win a lottery ticket. 1 month happened, 2 months happened, 6, 7 months passed. One day he was literally angry. I'm coming from 7 months, I'm not winning any lottery. So God will be frustrated and he says, first buy the lottery ticket, man. Then we'll see about winning. You're not buying lottery ticket and how can you win? So the same thing happens. It's like, for example, you plant a rose flower, you give it water, you give it sufficient sunlight, you nourish it. It will grow, roses will come on its own accord. You cannot plant roses there, right? So that's what Krishna meant. You do what is needed. You water the plant, you give sufficient sunlight, you nurture it. I'll take care of the flowering, or I'll take care of the fruits. You do from your end what is there, without expecting. I have put water, by next month there should be rose. It may be next week also. It may take 2-3 months also. We don't know. But if you nurture it properly, roses will come on its own accord. In Zen, there's a nice saying, doing nothing, sitting by the spring, the grass grows by itself. You don't have to do anything for the grass to grow. But the grass, how much it should take? For grass, it's its whole life, right? To be a grass. It has to invest 100% of its energies. Most of the other life forms are ruled by their instincts. They don't think that reality should be in our favor. However, no plant can complain, oh my God, I am planted in India in this mountain. I wish I was planted in some European forest or in Amazon forest. Wherever it has been planted, there it has to grow. A coconut tree in Mangalore cannot do anything, cannot complain. I wish I was born in somewhere else, in Goa, or in the Bahamas, or in the Hawaii Islands. How beautiful the view was. They forcefully put me in Mangalore. A cat or a dog you bought, you domesticated it. It doesn't have a choice now. It wasn't dependent upon him, but now it is dependent upon him. Because we were dependent upon them. We need the cow's milk, we need the dogs to play, for protection, whatever. That's what in our unidimensional way we are looking at the universe. We expect even the aliens to be more or less like us only. Because that's how we are. If you just put 2 dots, one this one and one like this, on anything, you look at it as a face. It's very easily recognizable. That's what humans are built. Our brain structures, everything. I told you the other day, right? The wiring is still the same as it was in the African savannas. Just because our technology revolution happened, life doesn't take a turn like that so fast. Evolution is not that fast. It cannot catch up with the human technology. It will take hundreds of thousands, millions of years. So yeah, next question.
I forgot the question was. ನೋಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳ ನಾನು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಅವಾಗ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಬಂತು ನೋಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾನು ಮೈ ಬ್ರೈನ್ ಕೀಪ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ನೆಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ ಆಯ್ತಾ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಫುಲ್ ಒಳಗೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೆ ಮರ್ತೋಯ್ತು. ಒಂದು ನೆನಪಿದೆ ಆಯ್ತಾ, ಒಂದು ನೆನಪಾಯ್ತು. ಬಟ್ ದಟ್ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಗುಡ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್. ಬಟ್ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ಇವೆಂಚುಲಿ 1 week ಅನ್ನೋದು ಡಮ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಅಂತ ಫೀಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿಲ್ಲ
ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಹೆಂಗೆ
ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಬಟನ್
ಅಷ್ಟೇ.
ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್
ಈ ಕಡೆ ಕಟ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ವಾ?
ಇಲ್ಲ,
ಈ ಕಡೆ
ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಬಟನ್ ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ